All right, this is Friday, January the 28th. Going to cut a quick edition of a video here to kind of show you what's going on with our incoming little winter weather event for parts of the region. I'm cutting this video right around noon. I'll show you the background going into this and my forecast that I've updated just now, heading on into the rest of today, into tonight and tomorrow morning. Start off with temperatures. It's a chilly Carolina day, 45 as we approach lunchtime in Charlotte, 36 in Boone, 38 in Asheville, 43 in Greensboro, Raleigh at 44, Wilmington sitting at 44 degrees, and we have a winter weather advisory in effect for a lot of the Piedmont. Winter storm warnings are up for the mountains. Those are the pink shaded counties. Asheville included in a winter weather advisory. Technically, so is Watauga and Ashe County, but certainly the higher elevations there are going to do quite well with this event. All the purple shaded counties, including Charlotte, Greensboro, Raleigh, Fayetteville, all included in a winter weather advisory. And then you get all the way up into the northeasternmost corner of North Carolina. That's where you hit a winter storm warning from there northward, and this is where it will turn into a big winter storm and blizzard as you get up into the Delmarva Peninsula, Long Island, eastern Massachusetts, all those areas there in the southern parts of and the eastern parts of New England into the northeast. A big winter storm and a blizzard up that way. It is a Virga storm underway in parts of the Piedmont. You see the radar showing some precipitation around parts of the I-40 corridor up toward the Triad. A lot of that is not making it to the ground. Some snow falling in the mountains, but even that has been pretty light in most spots, kind of checking around the cameras and the observations up that way. But this is the beginnings of this band that we've been talking about for a while that will try to consolidate, develop, and swing slowly through the foothills of the Piedmont this evening and into the overnight hours. Still a lot of question marks with how intense that band is going to be and exactly how we're going to see it behave. Not a lot of clarity, but I really haven't changed my overall thinking that much. And again, I'll show you my forecast in just a second. Temperatures, a lot of cold air. This is a fresh surge of cold air charging down the upper Midwest and the plains. We'll get into that tonight, but especially tomorrow and tomorrow night, and then gradually moderating a bit as we get into Sunday. All right, let me show you FutureCast. This is 3 p.m. this afternoon. There's your developing band of precipitation, and then that will pivot down into the Piedmont, the I-77 corridor by 6, 7, 8 o'clock this evening. Initially around Charlotte, could be some raindrops, but then probably kicking over to mainly snow for a period of time. And again, it's just going to be a matter of how intense the precipitation is with that band, how consolidated it is, and then how long it holds together as it works eastward. That is 1 a.m. tomorrow on FutureCast. Then we fast forward to 4 a.m. You can see that band of snow working eastward, and then at 7 a.m. you have a lot of snow on FutureCast still in the eastern part of North Carolina before it heads out to sea as the morning hours unfold. So again, on FutureCast, this is the footprint of snow on the most recent run. It's all going to be about how consolidated and how intense that band is. And there will be a corridor, I'm still convinced, there'll be a corridor within that band where it sets up shop that overachieves a little bit. And there'll be spots that get blanked. It's going to be a very uneven distribution of snow this time around. So here's my latest forecast. Again, I haven't made huge changes. If you watched my video yesterday, I was talking about this zone, parts of the triangle into the sandhills being the most uncertain area. I have gone ahead and pulled back that area into the 0 to 1 inch range. Earlier, I had it into that trace to 2 inch range. I've gone ahead and pulled that mark up. And again, I'm going to say Charlotte and the Triad, it is entirely dependent on that band of developing snow, how intense it is, how consolidated it is, and how much snow it can put down. It'll help that it's during the overnight hours, at least after sunset, the evening hours and the overnight hours. That'll help with the accumulations. And it could be certainly a scenario where you have more on the grassy and the elevated surfaces than roads. But if you study history around here, a lot of times those bands can, in some spots, overperform. There's a lot of instability over our heads tonight. So you could get kind of convective elements, almost thunderstorm type elements with this band in some spots, and that's where you could get some localized enhancement of the snow totals, some localized 3 or 4 inch totals. I think if you made me guess where that's most likely, I would say maybe toward parts of the Triad and areas just northeast of Charlotte, but anywhere I think in that blue shaded area, it's fair game to see the more intense localized areas set up. Now again, having said that, focus on the lower end of the range. There'll be a lot of spots that get a dusting to a trace mixed in. It's just in that corridor where that band sets up shop, there will be some 1-2 inch plus snow totals that develop in some spots. But again, this is not like a big mass precip shield working through where a lot of folks get a lot of precipitation. It's going to be a very uneven distribution. So real quick before I wrap up the video, just a couple of more in-depth charts. This is the regional Canadian. We're looking at the 500 millibar vorticity chart. This is the newly arrived 12Z run, and I focused here on the southeast, and you can see that energy kind of bundling, consolidating here across the deep south as that energy phases, and then that turns into just a monster low pressure as it lifts up to our north and east. And so let's take a peek here. That's the European snowfall prediction. And again, you always take these model projected snow totals with a grain of salt, but the way we get there is this. I'll step you back in time and we'll look at that's 10 p.m. this evening, 1 a.m. Saturday, 4 a.m. Saturday, 7 a.m. Saturday. And again, it's just going to be a matter of where these heavier precipitation rates set up. And you can see some of those heavier rates setting up a little east of Charlotte over toward even parts of the Triangle and the Sandhills. So again, on the European model, you get that heavier snow. And again, this is all relative. We're talking an inch or two, but that heavier snow down toward the Sandhills region. But a lot of other modeling isn't really on board with that general scenario. There's the GFS snow output. It puts a little heavier burst around Charlotte, but again, that could be just about anywhere in this Piedmont corridor. And I'll step you back in time through the GFS real quick. This is the 12Z run of the GFS, by the way, the one just in. I-77 corridor has it snowing pretty hard, 7 to 10 p.m., and then it will slowly pivot and weaken. That band will southeast from there. Regional Canadian, a little bit east with this footprint of heavier stuff. And it kind of maximizes things around the triad. And again, if you look at history, a lot of times that's the case in this type of setup. So again, I would favor that area as being the localized maximums. It's all relative. We're not talking foot plus snow totals like sometimes you see here, but with these types of setups. But that's where you get most likely the inch or two, maybe 3, 4 in localized spots. And just final thing I'll show you, that's the national blend of models. So if you look at that compared to what I showed you with the forecast, you can kind of see my forecast reasoning. And I will, before I wrap up the video, I'll show you that one more time here, the forecast I'm going with. And so here we go, just to put a final bow on it. You could quabble with maybe pulling this trace to 2 inch plus line a little further southeast, but again, it's just going to depend on that band and where it sets up. Now, in terms of impacts, obviously this is not going to be a crippling, debilitating winter storm for most of our region. I do think, though, travel could become slick and treacherous in many spots later tonight and into the first half of the day. Saturday, it's going to be a cold day tomorrow, but there should be some improvement, especially on the main roads as we get deeper into our Saturday. And then a hard freeze coming up Saturday night into Sunday morning. Teens are likely for a lot of our lows early on Sunday morning. So, again, if you have travel plans overnight tonight into Saturday morning, plan on some delays and some difficulties in those spots that do get an inch or two of snow due to the temperatures kind of crashing and the snow probably accumulating fairly effectively where those heavier rates of precipitation set up shop. All right, remember you can check out Spectrum News 1 on television. We will have complete coverage of this event as it unfolds over the next 24 to 36 hours. And also the Spectrum News app is always there for you. Charge that phone up. Keep it handy. We will have live streams of all of our stations, always available to any Spectrum Internet customer, and a lot of great content on the app otherwise, aside from the live streams too. So just a lot of great stuff there for you. All right, everybody have a wonderful Friday. Stay safe, and God bless.